Good evening and welcome to TC Network. I am Tingni Tim Hoki bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include 107th Anglo-Kuki War commemoration observed across hill districts of Manipur. Kim greets every Kuki Zoo citizens across the globe on the 107th Anglo-Kuki War 1917 to 1919. ITLF denies joint meeting between Kuki, Meitei and Naga MLAs amidst ongoing crisis. News in details. The 107th anniversary of Kuki Rising, Anglo-Kuki War 1917 to 1919 was observed today as a restricted holiday in all the Kuki Zoo-dominated hill districts of Manipur with much enthusiasm. The program in Churachandpur was organized by the Kuki Students Organization, where first session of the program was held at Laisang, where the Anglo-Kuki War Gate is situated. Kumpipa Solet Lungdim unveiled the monolith of the Anglo-Kuki War erect, followed by the second session at M. Songil Community Hall. The program was attended by leaders from Kuki Inpi Manipur, leaders of KSO, apart from village chief and local populace. Fitting homage and tributes was paid to the gallant and patriotic spirit of the Kuki warriors who stood firmly against the mighty British Army, defying the imposition of forced labor during the World War I. The program aims to march forward in unity by keeping aside the various differences while thanking the community leaders. This day marks the proud moment for the Kuki community and also is the longest war fought against the British in Manipur, that is the Anglo-Kuki War, as Kuki Rising apart from declaring October 17 as a restricted holiday. Stressing on the brief history of Kuki Rising, Anglo-Kuki War 1917 to 1919, speakers in the program said that the war waged by the Kukis against the British manifested the one indigenous major armed uprising. They said that the war was the most serious incident in the history of Manipur under British rule and its relation with the hill people. It is a combination of both opposition and confrontation posed by the Kuki against the onslaught of the mighty British imperialists. It gets the distinction of being an important historical event in and as far as the British relation with Manipur in particular and the Kukis of northeastern states of India and Myanmar in general is concerned, they added. Speakers also mentioned that it would be unfair to belittle the war, Kuki rebellion, as a merry rebellion, while adding that it will remain as a struggle against the forces of imperialism for upholding one's political birthright and the assertion of freedom. The Kuki Inn, which stands in the heart of Imphal city, is a living testimony of the brave Kuki warriors, but unfortunately was burned and destroyed by the majoritarian Meitei community in the course of the ethnic cleansing against the minority Kuki people. Moreover, members of the Kuki Gospel Artists Association enthralled the crowd with their melodious voice during the program, which concluded with a vote of thanks from the organization. Some of the main topics of discussion in the program were British colonial expansion and annexation of Kuki inhabited areas, forced labor and taxation, restrictions of traditional Kuki practices, economic exploitation. In the year 1917, Kuki chief united against British colonial rule. The next year, armed resistance began, targeting British administrators and infrastructure, and the following year, British forces launched counter-insurgency operations where they suppressed the uprising. Execution or imprisonment of key Kuki leaders and forced them to assimilate policies and eventually integration of Kuki territories into British India, now Manipur, India. It can also be mentioned that the Anglo-Kuki War is now an official restricted holiday, acknowledging the community's struggle for freedom. Renowned Indian historian Sajal Nak notes, the Anglo-Kuki were costlier than the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857. The same program was also observed at Chandel, Tingnopal, Kangpokpi, Jiribam, Ukhrul districts with the theme Preserving Heritage under the auspices of the Kuki Students Organization. Fitting homage and tributes were paid to the gallant and patriotic spirit of warriors who stood firmly against the mighty British Army by defying the imposition of forced labor during the First World War. Speakers in the program urged all concerned to follow the footsteps of the brave forefathers by promoting unity among brothers and forgive each other's mistakes. They also called upon the gathering to shun pursuing clan-centric agenda and sow goodness instead of promoting hatred for the larger good of the people. They added that the celebration will help establish the rightful place of the iconic leaders of the Kuki War of Independence. Today, with the commemoration of the 907th anniversary, the Kuki people are hopeful that come next year, 17 October will be organized independently and all the people of the community can join in the commemoration of this significant war which was fought to protect our land and freedom from colonialism. In More, as well, the Kuki community solemnly observed the 107th anniversary of Anglo-Kuki War 1917 to 1919 under the theme Preserving Heritage, Celebrating Courage. In the midst of the chaos and warlike situation in the state, the Kuki communities observed the 107th Anglo-Kuki War Day in different places. In More, it was observed under the Hill Tribal Council leadership, where the attendees remembered our ancestral heroes who died fighting the mighty British Army and celebrating their courage and bravery. The program started with garlanding of warrior Chengjapao Kuki statue, which stands in More by HTC President Kaihulal Hauki.
History cannot come and today on the 107th anniversary of the Anglo-Kuki War commemoration. In More, Hill Tribal Council along with my fellow members, my colleagues from HTC, MYC and KSO and elders. Today we commemorate here in this park in the Pu Chengjao Dongal Park here in More, in the center of More. And I would like to remind all of my people, my colleagues here, that on this day we recall, we look back at our glorious history. We know, we are fully aware that history cannot help us. History cannot come and benefit us. But retrospecting our history and remembering the mighty works, the valor of our forefathers.
The CSOs and pastors of More then led the people to observe the 107th Anglo-Kuki War Day at HTC Conference Hall, More. Pastor Kamkuhau Gangte, quoting from the Holy Bible, talks about the importance of waging war according to the rules laid down in the Bible and that to set out for war only along with the Lord's guidance. Pastor Kamkuhau Gangte then led the Mass into prayer, where they also remember the warriors and their sacrifices. Kuki Inpi Manipur, the apex body of the Kuki tribe, sent its greetings to all its citizens around the world as we observe the 107th Anglo-Kuki War Day. The release reads, on this solemn day, as we mark the 107th anniversary of the Anglo-Kuki War 1917 to 1919, I extend my deepest respect and warmest greetings to all the Kuki Joe people. This commemoration is not merely an event, but a moment to honor the unyielding courage, valor, and sacrifices of our forefathers who fought fiercely for our freedom, dignity, and identity. Their resistance in the face of overwhelming odds during the Anglo-Kuki War is a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Kuki people, one that refuses to be broken, no matter the challenge. However, as we gather in remembrance, we do so in the midst of ongoing ethnic persecution against our people's grave injustices at the hands of the majority Meitei population, led by an oppressive regime that seeks to erase our identity and subjugate our people. This dark chapter in our history is not one of our choosing, yet we stand firm and unbowed. Our fight for justice, equality, and the preservation of our ancestral lands is not over, and we must continue to stand united against all forms of oppression. Today, as we honor their legacy, we are reminded that the very same courage flows within us. The sacrifices they made were not just for their time, but for our future, and it is our duty to uphold their vision of a free and just society for the generations to come. We will continue to safeguard our ancestral land, and we will fight until justice is served and equality is achieved for every Kuki person. May the memory of our ancestors inspire us to be courageous, resilient, and united. As we honor their sacrifices today, let us also renew our resolve to protect the future of our people. Kathange Kanam. The Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum ITLF has dismissed reports suggesting that Kuki, Meitei and Naga MLS held a joint meeting in New Delhi regarding the ongoing conflict in Manipur. According to a statement from the ITLF, Kuki representatives are firm on their demand for a separate administration in the form of a union territory with its own legislature. There can't be talk of peace before this demand is met, a leader of the forum asserted. The ITLF leader clarified that Kuki MLAs did not participate in any joint meeting with Meitei or Naga legislators. If there is a need to sit together with Meitei and Naga representatives, the Kuki MLAs must first consult with various Kuki civil society organizations, the leader said, citing a statement by Chin Lunthang, the convener representing all Kuki MLAs. ITLF spokesperson Ginza revealed that the Kuki representatives held a separate meeting with officials from the Ministry of Home Affairs. Kuki MLA Pauline Lalhaukip, in a conversation with a news agency, expressed dissatisfaction with the meeting, calling it a merry I-was. He criticized the Home Ministry's handling of the talks, pointing out the absence of Home Minister Amit Shah and the lack of formal communication. For a significant meeting like this, there should have been a formal invitation rather than just phone calls, Haukip said, adding that the meeting would have carried more weight had Shah or a junior minister presided over it. The authorities in Manipur's Churachandpur district imposed prohibitory orders under Section 163 of the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Samhita in the district headquarters town for 3 days from Wednesday evening to prevent possible violence, according to an official order. The Office of the Superintendent of Police has reported there is a serious apprehension of breach of law and order situation in the entire town, which will be detrimental to public peace and tranquility. The prohibitory orders will be in effect from 6 p.m. of Wednesday and shall remain in force till 5 a.m. of 18 October 2024 or until further orders prohibiting the unauthorized possession or unlawful assembly of 5 or more persons and carrying arms or other instruments which can be used as weapons, including sticks, rods, and stones, the order said. A district official said that the move was necessary to preempt the possible clash among volunteers or groups in Churachandpur town. The Governor of Manipur, Laxman Prasad Acharya, on October 9, 2024, issued an order cancelling the appointment of caretaker chairmen in all autonomous district councils in the state in compliance with a Guwahati High Court order. In the order, the governor stated that in compliance with the Guwahati High Court's order dated March 15, 2024, in WA number 353 of 2023, the state has cancelled earlier orders issued on March 14, 2023 and March 27, 2023, appointing caretaker chairmen for all ADCs in Manipur. The order also mentioned that Dr. Yaron Sho Ngalung, who was the chairman of the Ukhrul ADC and appointed as the caretaker chairman of the state ADC, tendered his resignation on June 6, 2022, which was subsequently accepted by the state government through order number TA101/5/2022 ETANH, dated June 27, 2022. Following this, on August 8, 2023, the High Court of Manipur granted permission to Mark Luiting, the lone BJP ADC member, to serve as the caretaker chairman of Ukhrul ADC, despite objections from former ADC members. However, the order notes that the August 8, 2023 judgment passed by the learned single judge of the Manipur High Court was challenged by M. Isaac, a former vice chairman who filed a writ petition before the Guwahati High Court following permission granted by the Supreme Court of India in its order dated August 29, 2023 in special leave to appeal C number 18591/2023. The governor's order cited the Guwahati High Court's ruling that there is no provision in the scheme of the 1971 Act or the 1972 rules for the appointment of a caretaker chairman by treating him as a member of the Ukhrul ADC. The division bench further opined that since the Ukhrul ADC has ceased to exist after the expiry of its term, the appointment of a member of the expired council as caretaker chairman was illegal. Therefore, the Guwahati High Court declared the appointment of caretaker chairman in any ADC as illegal. The order said that the High Court's declaration is now a settled point of law binding on all state authorities. It added that the judgment, as a judgment in rem, applies uniformly across all ADCs in the state in accordance with the Supreme Court's order dated September 29, 2023. At least 15 police personnel were injured when a private bus carrying them rammed into a truck in Chhattisgarh's Dhamtari district on Wednesday, an official said. The incident occurred near Sambalpur village on the Raipur-Jagdalpur National Highway when the police personnel were returning to Sukma after completing their training course in Raipur, the official added. The injured cops belong to the Sukma District Force. They underwent the refresher training at Manakim, which concluded on Tuesday, he said. The private bus with 20 police personnel on board was on its way to Sukma. The driver lost his control at the wheel near Sambalpur village while trying to overtake a truck, resulting in the rear-end collision, the official said. At least 15 personnel, including some women cops, sustained injuries. A police team shifted the injured to Dhamtari District Hospital, he said. Some of the injured personnel have been discharged, the official added. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will chair a half-day conclave of Chief Ministers of the National Democratic Alliance (NDA) and their deputies in Chandigarh today. BJP President JP Nadda, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Home Minister Amit Shah will also attend the meeting. According to a BJP statement, the proceedings will begin immediately after the swearing-in ceremony of Nayab Singh Saini as Chief Minister of Haryana. The meeting will follow a structured agenda focusing on national development issues. It will also include discussions on the observance of the Samvidhan Ka Amrut Mahotsav. The BJP currently has 13 chief ministers and 16 deputy chief ministers, while the chief ministers of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Sikkim, Nagaland and Meghalaya are from its allies. On the other hand, Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh has also reached Chandigarh last evening and was warmly welcomed at his arrival at Chandigarh Airport. At least 5 people have lost their lives while rescuing others who went into a tank of an effluent treatment plant at the Imami Company in Gujarat's Kutch. Speaking of the matter, plant head of Imani Agrotech Limited, Mainik Pal, said they received information that around 12:30 p.m. some people have fallen unconscious in the tank. In an attempt to rescue them, 4 people also lost their lives. The plant head further said that it's a very sad and unfortunate incident. We have announced to provide compensation of Rs 10 lakhs to the family of deceased and an investigation is underway. The incident occurred around 1 a.m. when the workers were cleaning the effluent treatment plant of the company, Kutch. Superintendent of Police Sagar Bakmar said, when a worker entered the tank to remove sludge, he fell unconscious. 2 other workers rushed inside the tank to rescue him, but they also fainted. 2 more followed suit and all 5 died, Bakmar said. A case of accidental death has been registered at Katla police station and a probe is underway, he said. A Kanla police station official said that the accident occurred at Imami Agrotech, a farm engaged in the production of edible oil and biodiesel. Police have identified the victims as Siddharth Tiwari, Asmat Khan, Ashish Gupta, Ashish Kumar, and Sanjay Thakur. At least 6 people died and 14 others were hospitalized after allegedly consuming spurious liquor in Dry Bihar, Siwan, and Saran districts, officials said on Wednesday. 4 deaths were reported in Siwan and 2 in Saran. Speaking to reporters, Siwan District Magistrate Mukul Kumar Gupta said information was received around 7:30 a.m. on Wednesday that 3 people died under mysterious circumstances in Makkar and Oriya Panchayats. A team of officials was immediately sent to the area and 12 more people were sent to the nearest hospital for treatment, but of them, 1 person died on the way. The bodies have been sent for post-mortem examination, he said, adding the exact cause of the incident can only be known after receiving the autopsy reports. Villagers alleged that the victims had consumed spurious liquor on Tuesday night, after which they fell ill. Officials did not disclose the identity of the dead and those under treatment. The district administration has started a high-level inquiry. A team of officials of the Prohibition and Excise Department will also probe the matter, the DM said. Meanwhile, the district administration has suspended 2 chowkidars of Makkar and Aruya Panchayats following the incident, the DM said, adding departmental action will also be initiated against the officials of the local police station. In another incident, 2 people died and 3 others were admitted to the hospital after allegedly consuming spurious liquor in Saran district on Wednesday. Speaking to PTI, Saran district magistrate Amar Samir said the incident took place in Ibrahimpur area under the jurisdiction of Musrak police station. On the basis of information received by officials pertaining to suspected Houthi deaths, police reached the spot and started an investigation into the matter. 2 people have died and 3 others have been hospitalized so far. The matter is being examined and bodies have been sent for post-mortem examination. The exact cause of the deaths can be known after receiving the autopsy reports, he said. The sale and consumption of alcohol was banned in Bihar by the Nitish Kumar government in April 2016. The Bihar government recently admitted that more than 150 people have died due to consumption of illicit liquor after prohibition was imposed in the state in April 2016. Twelve High Court judges who were invited to a tea gathering by Chief Justice Said Rifat Ahmed have been temporarily barred from performing judicial duties. The announcement came from the Supreme Court Registrar General Aziz Ahmed Buyan on Wednesday amidst protests organized by the anti-discrimination student movement to press for the resignation of pro-Awami League judges. Advocate M. Mahbubur Rahman Khan, member secretary of the Bangladesh Law Association, provide the names of 10 of the 12 judges involved. They are S.M. Maniruzaman, Khandakar Diliruzaman, Shahed Nuruddin, Muhammad Akhtaruzaman, Muhammad Aminul Islam, S.M. Masud Hossain Dolan, Naima Haidar, Muhammad Atur Rahman Khan, Hizir Hayat, and Muhammad Khurshid Alam Sarkar. Buyan pointed out that there was no current legal framework for removing judges from the High Court. The matter is further complicated by an upcoming hearing on October 20 relating to the 16th Amendment of the Constitution, which involves the procedure for dismissing judges. He explained that since these 12 judges have neither resigned nor can be legally removed at this time, the decision has been made not to assign them to any benches, effectively suspending them from judicial activities until further notice. Earlier, Chief Justice Said Rifat Ahmed had invited the 12 judges who face accusations of corruption and having close ties to the ousted Awami League administration to tea. The Chief Justice's daily schedule was adjusted to accommodate the gathering. 6 of these justices, Maniruzaman, Diliruzaman, Nuruddin, Akhtaruzaman, Aminul Islam, and Masud Hossein Dolan had reportedly met Rifat by 2 p.m. Later, rumors began circulating that the Chief Justice has placed these judges on leave. Ukrainian air defenses downed 51 of the 136 Shahed-type attack drones launched during a Russian attack overnight on October 16, Ukraine's Air Force said. The drones were reportedly launched from the Russian port town of Primorsko-Akhtarsk, located on the coast of the Sea of Azov, and from Russia's Kursk and Oryol Oblast. Aircraft, missile and electronic warfare units and mobile fire groups of the Ukrainian Air Force intercepted the drones over 14 oblasts across Ukraine, the Air Force said. According to the Kyiv City Military Administration, air defenses intercepted all drones Russia launched against Ukraine's capital. Russia's attacked an industrial facility in western Ternopil Oblast, causing a large-scale fire that was later put out. Governor Vyacheslav Nehoda said. No casualties were reported. 60 drones were lost due to electronic warfare in a number of regions, while 20 more drones were flying over Ukraine at the time of publication, according to the statement. 2 more drones flew back towards Russia. Russia forces also attacked Donetsk Oblast with an S-300-400 missile and launched a Kh-59 cruise missile against Chernihiv Oblast. Drone attacks are a daily occurrence in Ukraine, affecting various regions across the country. Russia attacked Ukraine with more than 1,300 such drones in September, launching them on a daily basis for an entire month. North Korean hackers have stolen an estimated $3 billion worth of cryptocurrency since 2017, using the funds to support the regime's nuclear and missiles programs, a Microsoft report showed on Thursday. Of that amount, between $600 million and $1 billion was stolen just last year, based on Microsoft's Digital Defense Report for 2024. The report highlights that these stolen funds have financed over half of Pyongyang's nuclear development efforts, reports Yonhap news agency. Since last year, Microsoft has identified several new North Korean hacking groups: Moonstone, Slit, Jet Slit, Sapphire Slit, and Citron Slit, which have been targeting cryptocurrency organizations. In particular, Moonstone Slit has developed a custom ransomware variant and deploy it against unidentified entities in the aerospace and defense sectors for both intelligence gathering and financial gain. Microsoft analysts say the emergence of new hacking groups suggests that the North Korean regime is expanding its involvement in ransomware activities, increasing the use of cyber criminal tools to bolster the regime's financial resource and advance its strategic interests. Nation-states are becoming more aggressive in the cyber domain, with every growing levels of the technical sophistication that reflect increased investment in resources and training, said Tom Bart, Microsoft Vice President of Customer Security and Trust. Microsoft also warned of rising cyber threats by state-backed actors, especially those related to Russia, China, and Iran, ahead of the U.S. presidential election and amidst persistent geopolitical conflicts in Europe and the Middle East. Meanwhile, South Korea, the US, and Japan recently agreed to bolster joint effort to combat North Korea's illegal cyber activities, which are increasingly targeting the virtual currency industry. The three sides stressed the importance of strengthening partnerships with the private sector, particularly with cryptocurrency service providers, to raise awareness of Pyongyang cyber threats. An explosion has killed more than 140 people in northern Nigerian crowds as crowd rushed to collect fuel spilling from a crashed tanker, officials told AFP on Wednesday. It's the latest such incident at a time when petrol has become a precious commodity during Nigeria's worst economic crisis in a generation. The fuel tanker had veered to avoid another vehicle and crashed in the town of Mazia in Jigawa State on Tuesday, police said. Following the crash, residents crowded around the tanker, gathering fuel that split onto the road and in drains, police spokesman Lawan Sisu Adam said. Nura Abdullahi, a spokesman for the National Emergency Management Agency, said more than 140 people have been buried in a mass grave and warned the toll was likely to rise further. Earlier, police said at least 94 people were killed and 50 injured. Sisu Adam said the residents had overwhelmed officers trying to stop them. The Nigerian Medical Association has urged doctors to rush to nearby emergency rooms to help with the influx of patients. Nigerian lawmakers have observed a minute silence in the Senate. In a statement on Wednesday, Nigerian Vice President Kassim Shettima called for a safety review and said the federal government was sending resources to support those affected. Fuel tanker explosions are common in Africa's most populous nation, where roads can be poorly maintained and residents often look to siphon off fuel following accidents. The price of petrol has soared fivefold since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu scrapped subsidies last year, and there are often shortages. Desperation rose further last week after the state oil company hiked prices for the second time in just over a month. The U.S. says it has carried out precision strikes against 5 weapon storage locations in areas of Yemen controlled by the Houthi movement. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said B-2 Spirit steel bombers were part of the operation that targeted hardened underground facilities housing missiles and other munitions that the Iran-backed group had used to attack civilian and military ships. The strikes demonstrated the ability of the U.S. to hit facilities that adversaries sought to keep out of reach, he added. Houthi-run Al-Masirah TV said the strikes targeted 6 areas in and around the capital, Sana'a, and 2 near the northern city of Sada. It did not report any casualties. U.S. Central Command, which oversees U.S. military operations in the Middle East, also said there were no initial indications of civilian casualties from the strikes. Several of those areas mentioned by Al-Masirah host military bases where analysts have said satellite imagery showed the Houthis were creating or enlarging underground facilities, including the television area in the north of Sana'a and Al-Hafa to the southeast. Muhammad al-Bukhaiti, a Houthi political official, wrote on X that the attacks would only increase our determination to continue our military operations in support of Gaza. The Houthis have repeatedly targeted commercial shipping in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden since November 2023. They have sunk 2 vessels, seized a third or targeted ships and killed crew members. They say that they are acting in support of the Palestinians in the war between Israel and Hamas in the Gaza Strip. They have claimed, often falsely, that they are targeting ships only linked to Israel, the US or the UK. They have not been deterred by the deployment of Western warships to protect merchant vessels or by US and British airstrikes on territory they control in northwestern Yemen. The Houthi attacks in the Red Sea have forced major shipping companies to avoid the Red Sea and the Suez Canal, impacting international trade, Austin said in a statement. At the direction of President Biden, I authorized these targeted strikes to further degrade the Houthis' capability to continue their destabilizing behavior and to protect and defend U.S. forces and personnel in one of the world's most critical waterways. He added that the U.S. would continue to make it clear to the Houthis that there would be consequences for their illegal and reckless attacks. In September, the Pentagon said the Houthis had launched a complex attack on the U.S. Navy ships in the region, though all of the weapons launched were shot down. As well as the attacks on ships in the Red Sea, the Houthis have fired several missiles and drones at Israel directly. In July, a drone launched from Yemen struck Tel Aviv, killing 1 person. In September, the group fired several missiles at Israel, including one that targeted Israel's main airport. Both times, Israel responded by attacking sites in Houthi-controlled Yemen, including fuel tanks and other infrastructures at the Red Sea port of Hudaydah. The Houthis are part of a network of armed groups in the Middle East backed by Iran that includes Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza. That is all for today's news, and have a pleasant evening ahead.